Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About Life. In today's segment we have Michelle.
Hi.
She'll just be snacking while we're talking. And today's topic will be layers of attraction for men and women. So now, we have the initial look when we are attracted to someone, okay? So this is the outer appearance. This is when you see someone across the street from you, or you meet someone in person, or if you're just browsing through social media and you're like, wow, that person looks, cute, sexy, whatever goes through your mind. Now, obviously, it's different per person, it's definitely, everyone has their own taste. You could find someone with short hair attractive, someone with long hair, it just all depends on what you look for in a person and the characteristics.
Well, I would say the way a person's fitted actually attracts me. Curly hair, from the way they have their hair cut to like the curls on top, like my ex. Acting like yourself, that's what mainly attracts me.
Yeah, that's good. So as you guys heard, just being yourself, whatever you're into, be proud of it. I mean, that's who you are. So those are some of the things that definitely gives a person an attraction about them. And that also has to do with self-confidence, because when you are who you are and you don't have to fake it or pretend to be someone else, that is just displaying the confidence you have in yourself. But anyways, so like I said, we have the first layer of attraction, which is what you see in the outer. So again, you have so many characteristics to choose from. It's based on your own preference. Then we have like the meeting stage. This is where you go into more specifics, personality. This is when you get to kind of know someone. So like for me, from I guess the man's perspective, I look forward to a woman's personality in the sense, can she hold a conversation? She has to have that loving sense of like wanting to care for things. Because if she doesn't, then I wouldn't be really into her. Maybe physically she passes my test, but then the personality-wise, it's a bummer because it won't work. How about you?
For me, what attracts me, especially when it comes to your personality, you have to be outgoing. Because I'm a person, even though when I meet you for the first time, I may be kind of shy, maybe quiet. But if you're a person that's outgoing, that you show your kindness, or the way you make people laugh, like it just really helps build up other people's confidence.
When someone is showing you how they are and who they are when they're in front of you, and they're kind of making you open up, it's a good method, especially when you're getting to know someone, that you have those qualities where you're outgoing and you're willing to kind of get to know the person and allow them to open up to you, because sometimes we also lose sight of that. So now, of course, we have, again, there's different layers of attraction. So now we have the attraction when you now know about a person. So from my perspective, once I know they already passed test 1 and test 2, we're moving on to this point where I can use all the qualities that I know about the individual, and I can say, wow, like this person is a complete package, or they have a lot of things that I really enjoy. And normally I'm looking for people similar to myself. I have certain characteristics that are like loving and well connected, and I like to be a part of social activities and just continue building with whoever I'm with, whether it's a group or just one individual, because everyone has tons and tons of layers. And even though we're talking about attraction, there are layers of personality, layers of just self-being. So in order to get to know an individual, you have to crack on those barriers. You might know them from face value, then you start getting to know them from a friend's perspective. Then before you know it, you're already intimate, or the intimacy of that individual, which again, so many layers of a person.
In my relationships, I have talked about futures. So I would actually ask my partner questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Do you see yourself with a family? Do you see yourself with marriage? Or do you see yourself traveling? Because I'm a girl, I in New York for like 18 years, my whole life.
You need to get out.
Never traveled, never been to Paris, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. The only place I've been to was Florida and North Carolina. Those are the only 2 places. But for me, I want to travel more. Like, if my partner is, willing to travel with me as I go to these places, it would actually be a fun adventure for me.
Yeah. And I believe there's a lot of women like Michelle that they enjoy traveling and they just want to explore different places and try new things out. And that's something that as a person or a man or woman, you need to be able to become more open and willing to do things. Some people on the first few layers of their personalities, they end up not, having those type of initial attractive traits. And that's pretty much when it comes down to finding out your attraction towards someone, which is something that's usually relatable to yourself. So once you know what you want, you can always bounce those ideas towards the person that you would be attractive to so that you can make yourself even more attractive. Now we will be talking about the final stages, which is essentially solidifying a relationship. What are the main qualities that you look for in a person? Because we have the beginning stages of a relationship once you're already with them, but it's just the beginning towards the end. I know for your case, you haven't really completed much yet, but what would you want if you were at that end point?
I mean, in some of my relationships I've been through, like, they would be, at first they would be outgoing, it attracts me, kind of have a connection or a vibe, but I notice why they haven't worked as much, because down the long run they might act a little different.
What do you think, why do you think they act differently?
Maybe because they're not into me as they were before, or maybe because they just find another woman attractive.
Oh, so guys and girls, I hope you're listening to that, so layers of attraction can definitely break and monkey branch out, so there are times where you are initially attracted to someone, but then someone else comes along and also catches your eyes. Whether you're a man or woman, this may happen. So these are some of the reasons why I say you also have to work on your attraction. I wouldn't condone any person from monkey branching because obviously that's something that they're dealing with, and maybe they changed. Maybe something sparked differently and they're now attracted to something else. They maybe tried something and was like, wow, I really like this. Then they see something else and they're like, wow, I like that even more. So that is a possibility. It's a part of growing, especially when you're in her age demographic, versus mine. I'm already in the upper 20s, so it's a little different. Most people already know what they want by that age. You go for it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you don't have to worry too much about people changing during the relationship. Usually things are consistent, so that's the difference. But from my experience, all I look for as a complete package once we hit that endpoint, especially if, let's say, I'm looking for a solid relationship to stay with the girl or maybe even something greater, it all has to do again with her being fully open with me. So it's like at that point, we're open with one another. We share all of our experiences together. There are no secrets. That's what comes down to my attractiveness with them. We now have no secrets. We're basically bonded. And that's what kind of allows me to solidify those relationships, which, it's not an easy thing to do. But like I said, there are layers. You start from the beginning, which is face value, what you see on the outside. Then you move into some of the more particulars, as in like some of their personality traits. Are they funny? Are they outgoing? Are they, a bad boy, things of that nature? The way they speak. Those are all that's like in that secondary layer aspect. And then we move on to the value. Basically, when you start looking at some of the values that you find in yourself that you want to share with someone else, because now those values have to be connected. If they're not connected, it's going to be hard to fulfill that attraction, because if you're someone that likes to cuddle, for example, and that's just a natural aspect of you and that other person doesn't, it kind of creates tension, because now you can't fully really get connected with that person. And then last but not least, like I said, it's when it comes down to trust and knowing the person and being able to share all your experiences together, which can pretty much fulfill that full attraction that you have for them. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely comment below if you have any questions or if you have any concerns on certain topics you might want us to discuss in the future. Again, this is Michelle. She'll be starring on the channel from time to time, and she may even have her own, so keep your eyes peeled. And as always, this channel is all about you.
Bye.